The anime begins with the history of the word summoner. It means the ones who can call upon the spirits. In history, summoners were able to summon the spirits of anything they wanted. In the next scene, a young boy is relaxing under a tree. He is a junior high school student, but he doesn't care about his grades. He moves to the supermarket, buys some groceries, and waits near the bus stop with a blank face. He prefers quiet places and considers himself a superordinary human being with no dreams. He saves a child from an accident and steps into the house. The only thing he is best at is cooking. This time, he is preparing his most famous ramen. By smelling the ramen, a summoned spirit of a beautiful girl awakens and gets out of a swirling sphere of light. Ajay is stunned to see all this, and the bowl of ramen slips out of his hand. The spirit transforms into a little girl and saves it, gulps it instantly. She is still hungry and has been starving for ages. His delicious ramen compels her to move into the real world. He tries to get rid of her at any cost. He throws her way out and flushes her, but she is so annoying and stubborn. She never leaves him, continuously hungry and insisting on living with him. He ignores her, but she follows him even in school. Because of her, he gets scolded by his teacher. Only Ajay can see her, and she is not visible to anyone else. She offers him a contract to fulfilling all his desires just in exchange for removing her hunger and keeping her with him. However, Ajay doesn't accept the offer. The spirit requires too much energy to transform back into the beautiful girl. That's why she is in her younger version to save her energy. Ajay asks her 3 questions about her. She tells her name Dora. She is a summoned spirit, almost 3 million years old, and people used food items to summon spirits in ancient times, so she came here because of his food. Now, she wants Ajay to be her summoner, but he runs from her and moves to a romantic place where a girl is already waiting for him. She presents him with a love letter. Ajay seems to like her back, but Dora ruins all this. Resultantly, Ajay shouts at Dora. The girl gets scared and runs away. Ajay comes with a bag full of food for Dora and, in return, asks for escape. Dora gets emotional and tells him about the reality of the contract. If the summoned spirit gets abandoned by her master, she will be bound to wander in this world for hundreds of years. Dora accepts this refusal with teary eyes, but she wants to spend one evening with him to explore his world. She explains to him the real truth about summoners. They are the legends of Earth who can see this world beyond imagination. They can create and destroy this beautiful world at the same time. Ajay gets emotional, and Dora sees it as a chance. She tricks him into shaking hands with her. Instantly she grasps his hand and performs the ritual of changing him into a summoner. Ajay now can never get back into the earlier one. Dora decides to present a gift to him and opens her wings while sitting at his back. He is flying high into the sky, but suddenly the spirit sleeps, and they fall. They get wounds and band-aids themselves. In the meantime, the power of the house cuts, and Ajay enlightens the room with sparkling light with his new version of the summoner. This is the glowing light of fireflies, which is very relaxing and can also fasten their wounds healing process. Now the spirit elaborates on her story and mentions a huge crystal in the ocean, which bursts, and a monster awakens. This monster ties her up in chains. She tries hard to get rid but cannot. By only remembering her traumatic past, she gets so stressed and instantly sleeps without saying a word. Next day, Ajay is with Dora sitting on a bench. Just then a green monster comes nearby, engulfs her, and spits her clothes on Ajay. She is screaming inside of its body and asking for help. The plant runs away, and her powers weaken. She states that her powers are strongest when she is near her summoner. Ajay is angry about why she never told this before. He runs behind the plant to save her, but it disappears after some time. Dora's energy is fading away, and she will faint in no time. He gets stuck with a bodybuilder brother of the girl with a love letter. He threatens Ajay to either accept the love of his beloved sister or they would kill him. Ajay again rejects and tries to connect with Dora, so they are super mad at him. He can now listen to her because of her telepathic connection, but she is weak. Ajay tricked her by saying, "Now I can get rid of you easily." This infuriates Dora. She starts kicking the plant from the inside and expels it out of its mouth on her own. She hits the plant badly, and it runs away to its master. Dora wants to initiate a fight, but Ajay calms her down. Meanwhile, the girl with her plant moves away. Ajay predicts that the plant is a spirit, because nobody in the city sees it during all this. Dora is impressed by his detective work. The girl with the plant is in the principal's office of Ajay school, who wants to see the real powers of the Ajay and his spirit. The girl instantly moves to Ajay and invites him for a meeting in the woods on the way home after school. All the other boys of the school also follow him as the girl is super beautiful. Moreover, the boys get tangled in the bushes, and only Ajay can move ahead. The girl is waiting for him in between a patch of black roses. Without saying a word, she attacks him with a sharp-nailed black rose. The monstrous plant conditions Ajay to either hand over the spirit to them or they would kill him. But he refuses. The girl attacks them with huge strings of plants that could tie them up. Dora is finding her treasure weapon, which is a super sharp antique cleaver. She gets entangled, and a giant monstrous tree attacks her with its rough bark. Ajay saves her, and they are fighting with their super powerful weapons. Consequently, Ajay wins the battle and cuts down the monstrous tree using his kitchen skills. The girl moves near and touches the tree, disappearing into the sky. Dora attacks the girl, but Ajay stops her and asks for no more violence. Dora accepts it when she sees 4 colossal trees, just like the one before, and invites the girl to dinner. The pet plant of the girl seems a bit off and angrily rejects the invitation. But the girl accepts. The girl's name is Hana, and she is the city's guardian. That's why she was testing Ajay and his summoned spirit. She believes Ajay but not the spirit. She presents Ajay with a black flower. Dora thinks that it is a confession of love, but he understands that the black flower means you're a devil. It also means that you belong to me. In the next scene we see a severely injured boy near a burning place, and he disappears. His sister keeps screaming for help from a distance, but it was his sister's dream and she wakes up with a jerk. Now, Ajay is in school, where an attack by several animals takes place. Giraffes, pandas, and ostriches are chasing the students, but it is the same girl who dreamt of his brother's death instructing these animals to attack. There is a level 1 emergency in the whole city. The girl is happy that she can now move around the city and summon animals. Hana hits up there and a battle starts between them. Hana entangles all animals in strong bushes and tries to hurt them. But the girl is pissed off and cannot let this happen. For this, she attacks her with her mighty hands and put a cut on her face, also trimmed her hair. She can transform into any animal she wants and get the powers of that animal. Hana brings up the same colossal tree for the fight, and the girl changes into a mighty bear. Dora and Ajay are enjoying the show from a distance. The tree is so powerful that it hugs, tightens, and kills the bear. But on tearing up her body, one bear transforms into several bears. In an instant, the bear changes into a large python and crawls onto the tree, breaking its bark. The battle is getting so fierce that Ajay wants to stop this. He and Dora chain both of them and stop the fight. The girl returns to her original, revealing that the cat Ajay saw at the beginning is the master of all the girls who is only summoned spirits. The girl is a cat and wants to free all animals from their cages and put humans in cages. Ajay wants peace, so he stops the fight and aids the cat's wounds. The scene switches to the past, where Ajay once aids the wounds of the same cat she felt love for him. Now he knows that the cat is the spirit of the girl. Hana leaves the lace by threatening Ajay about keeping the cat with him, but he brings the cat to his home. They eat a lot and also sleep there. Ajay also consoles the cat about her missing brother. She is doing all this to find her brother, who got missing a long ago. They knock at the door, and there are soldiers with different weapons. They imprison all 3 and present them to Hana. She is the granddaughter of the great grandmaster, who resides in a palace, where he explains a story about summoners. He says that all things have spirits, originating from a huge crystal, a monster. Some are watchers to protect the world, and others are destroyers who want to conquer the world for their unfulfilling desires. The master asks Ajay whether he wants to join the watchers or destroyers. Ajay refuses to join any, because his mother once advised him not to engage in violent activities. But Dora is enthusiastic about joining the Justice League. Suddenly a massive monster arises from the ceiling and causes massive destruction in the palace. The grandfather is so strong that he manages to fight these monsters. He asks Hana to keep Ajay and others safe. The destroyers have reached the earth again. The whole palace is turned into ashes. The girl destroyer attacks Hana and Ajay decides to fight together. The brother of the summoned spirit is with them. He is the crow master of all these. He even tries to kill his sister. Ajay could not bear it and tries to kill the brother. But in the middle of it, the statue which is placed near the palace wakes up. Who is his mother? She is also the goddess of all these summoners. She forbids him to engage in a fight and he faints. A destroyer attacks Hana, but the grandfather heals her with his substantial powers. As a result, he gets a shot in his head by the crow master. The grandfather is killed now, and one more destroyer confiscates his soul, and they leave the place. The Black Rose Palace in the outskirts is destroyed completely. The master is dead, and Hana is in hospital. Ajay somehow saw his mother in between all that. He investigates the whole situation and predicts that a girl named Mo Summoner records the whole fight with a satellite camera. She is an artist and will launch her book today. She is in the market and displays her book in all stores. Ajay, Dora, and the cat follow her. They decide to purchase a book, but she notices them and has known their plan since the start. She is an expert in the digital world and knows everything beforehand, and her name is Stan. However, they get a grade 11 alarm nearby, and Stan finds out that 4 suspicious targets are heading towards them. She, along with Ajay and others, jumps off a railing and gets into a car. She is driving it with her phone. These are mechanical robots chasing Stan, because she hacked the company's system, and these are behind her. A lady destroyer is with them and is controlling them. She is the same destroyer who killed the master. These robots turn them down and blow up their car, but Stan builds a big robot and kills them all by crushing them with her robot. As a result, the robot gets leaked by hitting a bullet and soon perishes. However, they win the fight. Stan falls down the robot and reveals her real identity. She cross-dresses to hide her identity, and now they recognize her. Ajay invites her to join their group and be their eye. She brings them into her secret laboratory, where she tracks all city, and they are about to gather all information regarding destroyers. Stan shows them all the previous year's records. They get that on March 17th, the activities of summoned spirits and destroyers get to flourish. This is the same day Ajay summoned Dora, and the destroyers are all behind these spirits. They summoned them and converted them into destroyers. They are now at the destroyed castle, and Stan activates the sonar pulses all around the castle. She finds a security camera of the Hand's palace and absorbs its information. She reconstructs the recorded information and gets all details related to destroyers. One is a girl whose code is fire, and the other is a boy who summoned animals just like a cat and is the brother. The third one is a magician who hijacked people's minds, and he is the one who hypnotizes Ajay's mind and has a nightmare about his mother. A cold-blooded summoner of shadows is also detected, who was invisible the whole time and stabbed Hana earlier. Their boss is a grim reaper, who can absorb souls, even though he can stump people's spirits also. He was the one who absorbed the master's spirit. Their objective in doing this is to hide deep in a big hole. They jump into the hole. They detect the whole place and discover that the destroyers swept away all the thousands of sealed spirits. Hana's family had been sealing the spirits for ages and putting them in lobes in the basement. They also find a pebble different from all others. It contains a unique scent from a garden 300 kilometers away from the city. About 5 hours ago, a spiritual energy fluctuation was also detected here. They all decide to get into the garden together, although the chance of their winning was less than 10%. On the way they all chat about their past, and Ajay explained his story. He has nothing much to talk about, hence, he lived with his parents for 5 years. Then suddenly, his father first and his mother later disappeared without saying a word. Dora tries to recall her memories, but she reports that his head starts hurting whenever she tries to recall. Stan's scans reveal that Dora's heart was sealed long ago with chains, which is why her memories are also unavailable. They all console Dora for being in trouble for a long. They reach the stone forest, and it's all gloomy around them. They find a hidden entrance to a town. About 10 years ago, the town was wiped off the map, and all people died. They move ahead and find a sea of flowers surrounded by a small cottage. An ordinary farmer comes out of the house and plants some more flowers. Stan tries to detect him, but he seems an ordinary human. He notices Ajay and moves forward for small talk. He asks a few questions about the flowers and the cottage. The man explains that a small girl whom he liked tried to plant flowers in this barren place long ago, but she could not plant these. This is because the land was so barren. She died with this unfulfilled wish, and then he tried several seeds. Finally, one day a bloom of flowers was seen, and gradually in 10 years, a sea of flowers takes place. Suddenly a storm occurs, and the wind blows drastically. The man gets too emotional about his flowers and steps ahead to stop the wind. In the meantime, the wind changes the man into the destroyer and a fight starts. The destroyer is substantially strong enough to put all of them to die instantly. Normal weapons of Dora are useless for him, and they get easily turned down. The cat moves ahead, but nothing works. Stan tries to handle the situation using her technology, but in vain. She could buy only 2 or 3 minutes for them. Nothing works for this monster, although Stan tracks out all information regarding him. He suffers from some mental illness and holds split personalities. He killed all people of the town long ago and is an internationally wanted criminal. The destroyer gets furious and attacks them with several powerful techniques, but they survive all of them. He destroys all flowers, turns the ground into large stones, and attacks them. But Ajay saves all of them. This destruction reveals numerous skeletons of men, women, and children under the earth. Ajay is feeling a unique surge of energies in his mind. He absorbs all weapons' memories and attacks the destroyer with these. He attacks with a sky-rending sword and a thorn hammer, which leads to killing the destroyer. He leaves all this to his intuitions and gives his best to win the fight. He breaks the chains surrounding his heart and changes into an ordinary farmer again. He starts begging for his life and narrates the whole story to them. Since birth, he was cursed with a parasitic evil spirit. His mother died during birth, and later his father committed suicide. The village bullies him as a monster, and one day they all chain him in the mountains to die of starvation. He was eating dirt. Then a girl approached him and served him her food. Since then, the girl came here daily and they fell in love. After some time, the town faced a calamity and everyone started to die of hunger. They blamed him even for this, but the girl sacrificed her life for him. By enriching the soil with blood, it starts blooming. The sea of flowers is enriched with the blood of the town's people. Flowers start to grow atop the rock. The man blames himself continuously and soon turns into another monster. He wishes to die to save people. The scene switches to the past again, when he gets chained and her girlfriend dies. The members of the Destroyers chided him for sealing the true evil spirit within him. They asked to join the group in terms of favoring him in sealing the cursed spirit and enjoying most of the time as a normal human being. So now the chains are broken and the true evil spirit is released, a giant stony monster filled with fire. They all are hurt severely and Ajay is in a strange place, unconscious. He encounters a crystal unchained. Dora tries to save Ajay from the monster, but gets hurt badly. On the other hand, in his unconscious, Ajay unchains the crystal. Suddenly a goddess comes forward, and Rain of Swords happens. It kills the monster, and everything vanishes instantly. The cursed man is dead, and they all are injured badly. On their way back, they get attacked by destroyers from all around. The cat, Dora, and Stan get killed by them. Ajay is transferred to a strange place, where an old man approaches him. He offers Ajay 3 minutes in the past to change it, and then report in the demon furnace. Ajay gets only 3 minutes to save his friend. He is back into consciousness and plans to escape from the bus. When the destroyers come, they don't see anyone. Furthermore, Stan borrows Hana's helicopter to escape and reach the demon furnace. It is a place like heaven and hell at the same time. All summoners get there for a trial initially to become a fully fledged summoners. Stan gets the location 7,000 km away, and they would reach it in the next 7 hours. They happened to cross the Sea of Death, and several helicopters messed up there in the past. Whirlpools and tornadoes tore down the vehicles, but Hana's helicopter survives the tornadoes. But after that, destroyers attack them, and right above the territory of the demon furnace they immediately get stopped by a bunny girl. As rule now, one of the demon furnace is no killing outside the arena. They are bound to not fight on the island despite grudges between them. Ajay, Dora, and others are on the island, all hurt and starved. A man on a crocodile approaches them and offers them a ride to the main city. The island is so beautiful and elegant that they enjoy themselves by roaming around it on a crocodile. The man served them energy-boosting drinks and charming suits. Ajay is so shy that it is the first time he is with 3 hotties in the pool. The island is safe, and everyone is bound to follow the rules. The man offering them all these services is indeed suspicious and gives them rooms to sleep in. Meanwhile, the walls of the rooms turn into pointed arenas and start moving inwards. Ajay and Dora are in one room and trying to escape, but the windows and doors are made of unique metals. Instantly, he finds a skeleton key and escapes the room. All other contestants escape using their summoned power, as all these were summoners. The first round of the demon furnace has been started. A clown predicts a storm and asks them to leave in a second. Suddenly, a hurricane comes and the entire hotel is turned into a burning furnace. Ajay saves all the weak people from falling under the collapsing floor. The exit door consists of multiple messages left by the previous contestants. Suddenly, the door opens and another calamity is waiting for them. But they survive it. The next floor of the demon furnace brings a race. The contestants attack others with their substantial powers to win. Dora is being attacked with curved bullets, but Ajay saves her. Some are losing their sanity, and some are falling off with exhaustion. Now, some bring robotics powers, burning swords, and more to kill their competitors. Stan gets survived by an ink summoner who can turn every weapon into ashes to save Stan. She asks for an autograph. Finally, the race ends, and less than 15 contestants are left behind. In the next move, they have to make towards an endpoint, and a ferocious fight starts between them. Destroyers and Watchers are all there, and trying to win the demon furnace. In the test of speed, Destroyers come forwards to an antique TV, where they can see the future. A girl tells them about the TV. They see the summoner cat winning the speed test, then they have to pass the starvation test. Ajay wins the cooking test. Meanwhile, the destroyers are pissed off and burn down the TV. On the other hand, Bonnie shows them a jar filled with thousands of energy fluctuations from the contestants and offers it to the goddess Pandora. The goddess is sealed with chains in a dark place above a spiritual and majestic ground. After this episode ends, watch the video of the left side if you have missed the previous video, and subscribe to Annie Summary for more anime recaps.